Hello to all of you out there wrestling fans. I'm back with another Q&A section. This is part number 4. Be sure to check out the other 3 parts of my Q&A sections. This is a pretty new concept by me. That's gone pretty good so far. Got a lot of comments, a lot of feedbacks, and the videos have gotten a lot of views. So I think why not continue with this session. Got a lot of questions as I've received since last time, and the first one being from Jeff WWE Hardy 7795. Do you know if Jeff Hardy will soonly appear to NXT someday? Or to SmackDown again? Sorry. But no, I don't think Jeff Hardy will be on NXT. I don't know why in the world he would ever be on that show. He might be back to SmackDown someday, but as of now I know that he has signed a deal with TNA as he appeared on last week's Impact. That's common news by now. But no, I don't think he will ever be on NXT. Then we got Hanky Boy Tell Him, who asks me, yo, how do you think the career of Cryme Tyme will go or end up? Simply, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Cryme Tyme. I believe that WWE has been having heat on Shad for a long time. The real talent in that team, as we know, is JTG. They try to book Shad as the strong link, JTG as the weak link. Shad is always a guy coming in, cleaning house. He's big, he's strong, he's a stud. He can tackle his opponents, he can throw them around any way he wants. JTG, on the other hand, is the counter kind of guy in the ring that finds these small ways to win. He finds the small packages, the roll-ups, and he's got a very cool finisher as well. So he's a real talent in there, and there's been rumors, at least for a long time, that they will split up this team and JTG will go singles. I don't know if that's true. It could be, and I could see why. And they've feuded and wrestled the Hart Dynasty for quite some time now, since last fall, and I think they've had a lot of good matches, but right now that's just a throw-together match because they have nothing else going for Cryme Tyme. No titles, nothing, especially since R-Truth and Cryme Tyme, this and that, has gotten the tag team title shot at WrestleMania. They wrestled on last Friday night SmackDown, but the match was interrupted by The Undertaker as he came out and cleaned house. JTG was the last one lying, and he received the Hell's Gate. And interesting there, as you could see, JTG did not tap out. I don't know if that's a sign. It could be. He never tapped out. On the other hand, there was no reason to tap out because it was not an official match. But still, we always see a guy, and no matter when or how or where he gets caught in a submission hold, he taps out on the instant. JTG did not tap out. It doesn't have to mean anything, but it could. PWO Channel, he asks me, so do you think that WWE will add another to MITB, Money in the Bank, even it out at 10 wrestlers, and try to hide the fact that Drew McIntyre is probably going to win? Now we know that Drew McIntyre is in the match. He qualified on Friday Night SmackDown against Olo Bolo or something like that, an alleged MMA fighter who looked pretty ripped and chiseled, so it's not impossible. The match lasted about 30 seconds. Drew qualified for the Money in the Bank match, and they are now on 9 wrestlers. Could it be that they add up to 10? Could be for an opening to Kofi Kingston. I don't know, but actually I think it's more effective if they do not open the match and make it 10 competitors. Why? Because that will simply gain more heat, as I see it, for Drew McIntyre. Why? Because if they bring up the number of competitors to 10, it will be like, well, we decided to have 10 competitors and Drew McIntyre happened to qualify. But if they have 9 competitors, it's like, well, this is a standard Money in the Bank match with 8 competitors plus Drew McIntyre. They made a special spot just for him. That would not be the case if they increased the amount of wrestlers to 10. That would not be the kind of special stipulation for Drew McIntyre. So I think it's more effective to have, as I said, 8 wrestlers in the Money in the Bank match, and then add Drew McIntyre because he's just supposed to be in there. It doesn't matter if all the slots are filled. Drew McIntyre is gonna be in there come hell or high water. So I think that's more effective. Keep it at 9 and go on with it. Kofi Kingston, I don't know what they will do with him. I have some theories, but I will not go into that as of now. Walls of Jericho 2022, he asks me, why would WWE make Orton a face now? He's best known for his heel roles. And this is in regard to the rumor that's been around on the internet that Randy Orton will turn face, Triple H will turn heel. And I can only agree to Walls of Jericho 202. Why in the world would they want to turn Randy Orton face completely? Yes, he receives a lot of shares, and I actually expected that when the feud with Ted DiBiase would come along, that Ted DiBiase was going to be the face. That doesn't seem like the case right now. However, we haven't seen the full picture yet. When it's all said and done, it could very well be DiBiase being the face and Orton still being the heel. And we talk about Randy Orton. This was a guy that by Pro Wrestling Illustrated he was crowned the heel of the year in 2009 and in 2007. And he's considered the best heel by many wrestlers and by many people who know stuff about wrestling. Throughout 2009 he was considered the top heel of the WWE along with Chris Jericho and finally also CM Punk. That's the top trio in wrestling's heel category. I also think Kurt Angle was number 4 on the list by PWI in 2009. But so Randy Orton topped that list, and even though he gets a lot of shares, which is because some fans consider Randy Orton cool, and that's a failure, of course. A heel is supposed to be booed, not cheered, and that's a fine line to walk. Orton is still very effective as a prick heel, and he's very hated, and people love to hate him. So with that in mind, I don't see the purpose, if this is just a rumor as well, I don't absolutely see no purpose whatsoever to turn Randy Orton full face. I mean, face it, the majority of the crowd still hate Randy Orton. At least 80% of the crowd hates Randy Orton. It also depends on whom he's facing. But as it says right now, and as it goes right now, the storyline within the Legacy is that it's kind of 2-on-1. Cody and Ted against Randy Orton, and that will make Randy Orton look like the face. I always thought that we were going to see Randy Orton and Cody against Ted, because that would make the sympathies go with Ted. 2-on-1, always get people to cheer for the underdog. So no, I don't see any gain in turning Randy Orton face. I don't know why they would do that. Perhaps a Attitude Era kind of face, anti-hero, but the society doesn't go with anti-heroes right now, and neither does therefore WWE. So no, I don't see the purpose there. Wade X Barrett X, he asks me, has Lance Cage signed back in the WWE? When? Yeah, he did. I actually got a video on this, so search for Lance Cage in the video section right here, and you will get a video that I uploaded that talks about when and where and why and how Lance Cage re-signed with the WWE. He's right now working in the FCW. And last but not least, what do you think? This is also from Hanky Boy Tell Him. He already asked a question about Cryme Tyme. He asks, what do you think about Sheamus versus Triple H? I hope Triple H wins. This is a very interesting match. I have a hard time seeing that Sheamus will go over on Triple H here, mainly because this is the biggest stage of them all, and Triple H is the biggest man of them all. So if Sheamus is going to beat Triple H, the biggest man on the biggest stage already, there will be no other place for him to go except for the topic on the title, and I think it's a little too early for him to beat Triple H already. I think it will stop with this one match perhaps, and Triple H will win, and Sheamus will kinda go down a little bit but still stay in the top spot on the main event, right under the main event wrestlers, and finally make it back. And it will be very interesting to see the way this match goes and this feud goes and how it unfolds. Will be determining for how this next 6 months leading up to SummerSlam will look for Sheamus. The past 6 months has looked very strong for him. He arrived, retired Remy Noble, beat up Jerry Lawler, defeated Cena, took the title, was able to retain the title against Cena. He lost at the Elimination Chamber. Still, he lost when being the guy entered the match first, so he lasted pretty long, but hit with several finishers and then was pinned. so he still looked strong losing. He was in a tough spot compared to The Undertaker, who came out last in his Elimination Chamber match as the defending champion. This is pretty much it. Be sure to check out my other videos and be sure to send me more questions. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.